Hello. Going to be working more on these guys. Hey there, welcome, Brawl-related reviewer. Yes, working on Dodonpa, first up here. I did do some preliminary work on him the other day, so he's don't have to work much on that sketch at the moment, but I'll jump immediately into collars in a second. Hey Sol, welcome. Just trying to remember what design I had for him in my previous sketches for younger Dodonpa. Alright, here we are. Mr. Brown. Oh, hey Shin, welcome. It's going alright. Just keeping it very chill today. Just going to be focusing on doing these two for the most part because I'm feeling a bit tired today, but I want to at least get these two done. Won't get all four of them done like I'd hoped to, but yeah, I just want to focus on these two, and then afterwards, if I'm still feeling up to it, I'm gonna try drawing some other stuff. Still deciding what that'll be, but yeah, just taking it easy. I'm sort of yeah, since I've gotten more used to streaming, I'm kind of more chill, just having a stream on just for the sake of having it on, because yeah, it's just forcing me to focus a bit, because I almost talked myself out of streaming, but I figured, been on a bit of a roll, so I may as well just at least dedicate a bit of time to it. I'm gonna keep Dodonpa rather simple for the most part, but I'll try to see if I can do something with him, because I haven't actually done a full body design of this younger Dodonpa before. Let's see if I can find but yeah, I'm just sort of making him up as I go. I'm sorry, he's got black feet. Oops. And which side is he? Yeah, this side. That's it. And I'll go this way. REM, I'm still not sure what I'm actually doing with her. Like, I've got a basic design worked out, but no idea what I'm doing with her color scheme as yet. More than likely just porting over her design scheme from her main canon outfit, but it'll be interesting seeing how it will actually look. I don't actually have an image in my head how she's actually going to look at the moment. Just kind of winging it. Yeah, how are you guys going anyways? Nice. Chill is good. Meme reaction. Okay. What of? Is it for a sticker or? He's got white ears. Should I give him black ears? No, I'll give him white ears. Oops. Awesome. It's cool though. That image actually ports, the one that you did of Proj actually ports over very well as a sticker, so it'd be cool to see more stuff to have in the server like that. Hmm. Wonder if they'll do another Riders game that don't play it. Well, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, and nice twist on his character actually participating this time. Wonder if he'd be actually riding something though instead of just using his little hover device. Yeah, that could be kind of cool. Oh, cool. That's great. You're gonna give you're gonna do this for a few of the different shadows and give them unique expressions. Very cool. Pretty much already nearly done. Most of the actual work goes into refining the sketch. Coloring takes little to no time at all. I probably get all these done like a lot faster if I bucket filled everything, but it's like, yeah, just ashing it out real quick. Maybe I'll keep them red. Yep. Actually, um, funny you should ask that because I actually like even though I probably would be able to concentrate better listening to music while I'm drawing. I did actually try to have something in the background while I was streaming the other day, and it was actually very difficult to actually talk while listening to music. So generally, when I'm streaming, I just sort of draw in silence. Productivity probably would increase if I had something on in the background while I was concentrating, but yeah, it's just hard for me to mentally balance drawing and listening to something at the same talking and listening to something at the same time. If it were up to me, usually I would be I'm listening to something like when I'm not streaming and I'm drawing. Usually I like to listen to something relevant to the subject matter I'm working on. So for example, if I was to be listening to something while drawing to Donpai here, I would probably listen to something Team Sonic Racing related, something more directly tied to him. Sort of gets the ideas flowing. Right, that only took half an hour. I think I'll consider him done. Get started on REM. That's a fair point. I might try that. I want to look up Sonic Dream Team, something from the OST, and just have that playing at very low volume, just so I can still hear myself think. Team OST. I probably should like maybe have something like playing, like as a BGM for the stream itself, but too complicated to manage at the present without prior preparation. Bear with me. Honestly, I haven't actually listened to the OST directly. Like the only exposure I've had to Sonic Dream Team is like watching you play pretty much, but so I haven't actually listened to the OST. I'm actually surprised at how how few tracks there are actually in this. So right now I've got, oh you know what, I'm just going to put it on the stream. put this one on and get started on this. I mean, they did mention a little while back that they were still doing stuff, but besides that, they haven't really said anything else, have they? But yeah, it's surprising they're not capitalizing on Year of Shadow to include him. Stage updates. Fair enough. You should. Yeah. I still need to like with Expanse stuff, I have put substantial thought into like stuff from like Dream Team, Frontiers, and Superstars into the main lore, but they're not still as fully integrated yet. So it is something I need to do in the future where I just sort of sit down and dedicate the time focusing on how they're incorporated into the story or the wider mythos. But I do have like say REM here. She's dead set as Illumina's personal construct, her assistant of sorts. So I have made sure to formulate that connection, and I've done a fair bit with Dodonpa. But yeah, just the finer detailings I need to do because they're not as finely defined in my timeline, which is like the main source of information. So, but I think I feel like since a lot of that stuff is like would affect things from further back in the timeline, I'd have to like go over and make substantial tweaks to the timeline itself, I reckon. But I think at this stage, I'm just going to wait until after Sonic X Shadow Generations comes out because, yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to do a lot of changes then. So once that game comes out and I can see what's going on, then I'll be able to do them all together at the same time. Yes, they really do. It's such a shame what happened to that game. I hate when I do that because it always happens. What I keep forgetting to lock this layer. Lock. Now I'll never move again. Yeah, big wasted potential, especially since it like details like ancient civilization and everything. It's like that's like huge lore material there, and yeah, just never got anywhere. Huge shame. I hope they do more with it eventually, but I don't know. I feel like that it's probably just going to be left vague forever, unless they do something in the comics. But I doubt it'll ever show up in the games again, unless they do like a Sonic Superstars 2, maybe. I don't know. I doubt that'll happen either, though. Yeah, they should. Incidentally, is there any sort of modding scene for superstars at all? I don't know. I don't keep track of these things. I think I recall that people did make a point of them really not wanting to mod the game because they don't want to they don't want to give Sega the satisfaction of, people just doing the work for them. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That was pretty cool. Hmm. Yeah, if only. Way too many things that Sega or Sonic Team should do, but yeah, they don't pump out as much as they used to. Now that I think about it, though, um, I mentioned the other day that I wanted to revise 60 years ago, um, just update a little bit because the intention behind this particular story back when I first made it was that it was a single story that was going to reference um, pretty much every to as many Sonic games as possible, just in the one setting. So, like, yeah, just each of these guys will reference a particular game. But I wanted to, now that I've revitalized the story a little bit, I wanted to update it a little bit to include more references to more current games after Sonic Generations. So I had already included some references to Sonic Lost World. But after that point, oh yeah, I did include some references to Sonic Forces with the introduction of the Phantom Ruby. But yeah, with the inclusion of Dodonpa here, he's representing Team Sonic Racing, and REM is representing Sonic Dream Team. But I haven't actually, yeah, because I'll need to fully incorporate some ideas from Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Superstars into this. Frontiers shouldn't be too easy because it'll be easy to work in the ancients into everything. But yeah, I haven't actually got anything in mind for a. What's going on with my pen? For a Superstars reference in this as yet. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, no, I did actually have thoughts about adding in references to the conductor. Someone did ask about that as well on Twitter. Yeah, I probably won't make him like too old because he's still. Well, I probably won't include his wife because I don't reckon she'd be, I don't know, born yet if she's going to be of age to have a young child. But the conductor, if I'm still sort of penning out his age, but he'll either likely be very very young or maybe feature his parents, like his mother pregnant with him or something. But yeah, no, I have intended a reference to the conductor and potentially his wife. Yes, the Dumper. What's going on, mate? Hey, Sherlock. The Dumper is very, very important. Brand new addition to this story, but he'll have very important relevance. 1 second, just there. Oops. Yeah. So I might, like, if I feature something with the conductor's wife, probably her parents or something make an appearance, just to sort of imply that she's gonna come about one day. But yeah, no, I have thought about stuff like for that. Very likely just like a, because I do have a pretty decent handful of like these guys are the defined main cast, but I have a lot of side/background characters in mind. So after I finish this set, I might do another lineup with the auxiliary cast to, yeah, just iron out the story and the world a bit, give people more of an idea of what's actually present. He has yet to rise to power, but he's on his way there very quickly. He attained some stuff in this storyline that will help him on his way. I need to pull up actual REM's art so I can actually see what she's like, because I've forgotten. Sonic. REM. What was I actually doing for her? Okay, yep, I see. So I had a shorter version of her robe, highlighting the segmented limbs, focusing on the stumpy feet, and I think for this neck part I had a reference to some of her concept art, so I'll just have a quick look at that one. Yeah, because she's got this big gold Tikal-esque thing on her neck, so I'm gonna I've added that to this here as well. It's like a, what do you call it, dream catcher type thing. Oh yeah, here we go. Do it this way. What are you doing? Oh yeah, that'd be kind of funny actually. I'll have to think on that a bit more because it may not be something that actually happens in the story, but like maybe in like an epilogue type thing, given the time frame. I'll consider it a bit more. That was just hanging off loose. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Much like most things introduced in the Sonic franchise. But I like him a lot. Big fan. Love this little guy. They should. Big Robux. I should probably give her sleeker looking hands because she's got very slender fingers in the game. Creepy. This way. Do you know if he sold very much? I probably would have bought something, but I've just been ignoring Sonic merch for the longest time. But it sounds very cool to have. I'm very jealous. Uh-oh. maybe if it's still in stock, maybe I might buy one day. That's so funny though. Send me a link later and I'll buy one. Oh, excuse me for a moment. I think someone's at the door. Never mind. Just a little bit. It should be alright for coloring in a second. Just going to refine the lines a bit more and then I'll slap the colors on. Yeah, pretty much. That's I like her. I really like her as a concept. So that's why I mostly take most of the enjoyment of doing stuff for myself. I thought she's a really cool character, but I wish they did more with her. I hope they do more with her with if they update the game a bit more. But yeah, obviously, like I'm really into the dream world type stuff because like the imaginary world is a huge part of my ideas and my lore. So yeah, I really like her for that effect. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So she works in quite nicely. She like when the game was first announced and everything, and waiting for the actual game to come out itself, I was actually very worried, like she would invalidate Illumina and you know make a whole mess of my stuff. But no, she actually exists quite well without contradicting anything established by Shuffle. So I like her a lot. I like the setting a lot. I have a few ideas in mind for incorporating the reverie and stuff. Cute. All right, I might slap on some collar now. Whoa, very nice. Makes sense. The Don Puff hands just had to build up the confidence to pre-order. Zavok doesn't have a plush yet? That's an outrage. Hmm. Wonder if she'll get a figure eventually. I was actually thinking about REM stuff, and I wonder how they'd actually do her hands. Considering they're like floating around. Yeah. Yeah. Since I did a lot of preliminary work on Dodonpa at the end of my last stream, he only took he didn't take long at all to throw the collars on. Pretty much only took half an hour from the sketch to fully completion. So he was easy. He was quick. REM's coming along pretty fast as well. So I'm only going to do these two today, though. I'll leave these Solaris and Illumina to another time because yeah, feeling a bit tired. So I'm gonna try to work on some other stuff after this, just as a get myself doing something else. If you guys have suggestions for what you'd like to see, I am open to them. Really, really liking how she's turning out so far. Actually, looking at her like this, because she kind of makes me look. She looks like she's like a baby Moro or something from Dragon Ball Super, or like at least related somehow. blue goat person. Hmm, maybe do it that way. Mm-hmm. Like it. Thank you. I'm very happy with how she's turned out. Youthful. Very cute. I'm actually very excited that this is actually this cast is actually being produced because this project's always been a big one, this particular story. So including these two and actually getting them in a more updated, more vibrant style, it's actually very, very fulfilling. Yeah, and I got her done in pretty good time, so started it, yeah, in an hour, which is good. So now I can focus on doing some other stuff for a little while. Yeah. Still not too sure, honestly. I'd like to do something new, though. So I might just... What do you think I should draw? Thank you. Yeah, I might do that. Sorry, I'm just looking at it and admiring. I'm very happy with how she's turned out. Alright. Let's get started. No, I feel like actually designing something because this was actually like ironing out her design from what I was unsure of into a fully fleshed out design was actually very fun. So I kind of just want to design something right now. So I might go with one of the silvers. Just pull up some references because I'm not sure which one I want to do though. Sonics. My favorite? Well, I mean, I've already done my favorite. Just... Alright. Top priority, Sonics. Where was I? Yep. Right, so I've got to update these designs a little bit. They're still very good at the moment, thanks to Subliminal for coming up with the designs. But yeah, I'm going to tweak them a little bit, so I will update these at a later point. But what I plan to do, inspired by some of Subliminal's recent stuff, for those who aren't aware, these are all alternate timeline versions of Shadow the Hedgehog, but they differ from Soul's Shadowverse set of characters, which are these are also very outdated, by the way. They've all been updated very recently, so they look very fresh now. These are heavily outdated. Anyways, these are his original characters, and then mine are created as a secondary set that act as a set of foils to them in like a second season type scenario. But yeah, the basic idea of it is they're project shadows from alternate timelines, but instead of being created by Gerald using the DNA of Black Doom, they are created using various alien sources. So for souls, you got like the Nergal, the Kron, the Zoa, and the Voxai from the Twilight Cage aliens from Sonic Chronicles. And then you've got the Jin and Cedrians for these two here. For mine in particular, these are more drawn from Expanse-related things because for those who aren't aware of my cosmology, I'll just pull that up right now. Where is it? Current top priorities Sonics. So, for those who aren't aware, in Sonic Expanse, there's like a wider deity hierarchy, which involves the splinters or fragments, fractures of the primordial deities, which are these guys. So you got Illumina, whose branches are Lumina and Void from Sonic Shuffle. You got Solaris here in the yellow, whose splinters are Mephiles and Iblis from Sonic 06. On the far right, you've got Gaia, who's obviously split into Light Gaia and Dark Gaia from Sonic Unleashed. And the one here is Argus, who is the super deity that's introduced in Sonic Chronicles. In my wider Expanse stuff, I actually introduce him as one of the 4 primordials, and his splits are the ones that become Black Doom, which is represented by the starfish as the true identity of the creature, which here it's known as a Star Drainer, and Mother Wisp, and they're 2 halves of the same coin. But then I go into further detail about what they actually are, which is the fact that they are considered revenants. Now, a revenant is, in particular, one of these original halves of the primordials, but when they've gotten to a point where they've lost their identity, they've essentially been killed. So the 4 canon examples are Black Doom, Mother Wisp, but then I also have Time Eater and Ifrit, who is known as Founder Ifrit here, who are the dead forms of Mephiles and Iblis, respectively. So after the events of Sonic 06, they essentially die, but their lingering energy sources become brand new entities, which are the Time Eater and Ifrit. So the Star Drainer and the Mother Wisp are treated similarly, and that means I go sort of backwards from them and create new identities for the ones who who those particular gods originally were, which were these ones here, Tartarus and Stella, and I've got various forms for them that represents their original consciousness. But yeah, that was a huge tangent. The idea I wanted to express was the revenants. So all the dead forms. So, where is it? 1 second. Focused. Sonic Expanse complete. Here we are. So, this is my most popular character, who is Proj the Echidna. So she is one of these alternate Project Shadows, except she was created from Mother Wisp's DNA instead of Black Doom's. So her universe and Shadow's universe are kind of twin mirror universes because they operate under the same Argus splinter origin. So these two have a linked universe, but these other guys, Sugar the Rabbit, Stones the Badger, Echo the Wolf, Arson the Cat, Mycella the Bat, and Not the Lemur, they are revenants. Project Shadow is created from the other revenants. So these ones here. You got the Globe Splitter, who is originally Dark Gaia, Elder Golem, who was originally Light Gaia, Time Eater and Ifrit, and then the Wishmaker and the Keeper Bogey, who are Lumina and Void, respectively. They're dead forms. So the Architects, Neo Architects, they are the Project Shadows that are connected to the root energy of those fractured gods. Yeah, huge tangent there. Anyways, the new idea that we're working with is, should I show them? Am I right to show what you've got so far? Or at least the sketches that I sketched out for your versions of the Silver's Soul? Yeah, cool. 1 second. Yeah. So, the new idea that we're working with is with each of the respective universes, or timelines rather, there's of course going to be shifts accordingly. So in each of these timelines, there's always going to be that recurring point where 200 years in the future, the world is destroyed by some cataclysmic event or entity. So you've got Silver, who is like obviously the one from the future of Shadow's timeline, and then this one here is Accomplish the Echidna, who is the Silver adjacent character who exists in Prog's future. So yeah, so she's the Silver of Prog's world, and then Aegis is the or however you want to pronounce it. Aegis is the Silver who exists in Sombra's future. Rough sketches. There's been a lot more work been done on these since then, but yeah, you got Render the Crocodile, who is of Raster's universe. Sabbath the Chameleon, who is of Shival's universe. Mockery the Bee, Binary the Fox, and Dynamo the Hawk. Some of these names are being workshopped, I believe, if you're still going down that route. But yeah, of those respective universes, so Apathy's future. I think these are outdated as well. She's Gemini now. But yeah, so a lot of outdated names and designs in this particular sheet. But yeah, so basically the idea that I'm wanting to do now is the same kind of thing, except the Silvers who exist in the Neo Architect timeline. So these guys as future. Yeah. So if you guys want to pick out one or something, yeah, I'll work on designing one of these Silvers for the rest of the stream, because probably won't do all of them today, but it'll make a start on actually getting the designs done. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. No, I've lost it. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I do have names worked out for each of the Silvers that I've got for these, and I've also got listed out who the threats are, who destroys their particular futures. So I'll see if I could find that little notepad that I had of them. But yeah, if you guys can pick out which one you'd like to see me work on, and I'd be happy to get started on them. What are you doing, Maple? Not that one. Ah, here we are. Yeah, okay, I might go with Notsan. So here's what I've got so far, with what I've got listed out. So at the top you've got the canon timeline, which is Shadow's timeline. You got Sonic as a protagonist. It's destroyed by Iblis. The world's engulfed in fire. Silver is the protagonist, well, the future protagonist of that world. And you got Knuckles as or Proj as the project in that timeline. Knuckles is the protagonist. Since these two are twin timelines, so they're both, they've got both the Argus halves as the Project Shadow base. Likewise, they're sort of mirrored in a different way. So, since Shadow's timeline is destroyed by Iblis, Project's timeline is contrastingly destroyed by Mephiles. So their world is engulfed by time distortion, and then you got Accomplish as the future hero of that world. I won't bother reading all of these, but you can have a look at what I've actually got in mind. So all the different characters, which fracture is destroying their future, and how it's destroyed, and then a rough name about roughly what I'm planning on naming them, and a rough theme to connect their naming conventions. But yeah, no, I'll go with not, because yeah, it's the first and only suggestion. So not is this one here. So it's the Project Shadow that's created from the Keeper Bogey, who is the dead form of Void from Sonic Shuffle. So yeah, and then the particular hero that it's sort of gonna be mirroring / rivaling that's another thing I haven't mentioned. Each of the Project Shadows, they're created, their species, their design, they're created to rival a particular character. So Sonic and Shadow, Shadow is a rival to Sonic, so he has a similar appearance to Sonic. And then these are likewise created with the same sort of convention. They look similar enough to be mistaken for them. But yeah, they're ultimately their rival. So in this case, with Not, he'll be the rival to Tangle, who will be the focused hero of this timeline. So yeah, I'll get started on that. Just nab this because. Not. I am going to update this a little bit. Probably not much, but I don't know. I won't know until I actually redraw him how much I'll change, but we'll keep the same sort of feeling. I'm just going to pull up a reference of Tangle because I do not remember what she looks like off the top of my head. Rather than an official reference, I'm just going to use one of my bits of art as of her as a reference. Right. So what I plan to do here is create a third in their trio of sorts. So similarly to how Silver's design is created to go along with Sonic and Shadows. Similar to them enough, but not as closely connected as they are. But yeah, just enough to give them a bit of variation to set them apart from the other two. Oh, the name for this Silver? 1 second. I've got too many files open. So Tangle, not. So this one, he is facing a Dark Gaia or Durga destroyed future. So probably going to be just a spruced up version of Sonic Unleashed. But yeah, Ravel the lemur, and it's a tie theme, so tangle, knot, and then ravel, like unraveling. Mm, right. Yeah. Okay. I'll see what I can do now. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna hash something out and see how it goes because. Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, he needs to be in a way that would be able to survive in the particular environment. Like Silver's design can be justified by having the ESP to be able to weave through the flame destroyed future of Iblis's world. Um, yeah, so some you need to look in a way that looks like he's trying to survive in a more earthen destroyed environment. So like I had on the little notepad that the world is sort of engulfed by shifting plates, or like imbalanced continental plates. So the world's kind of really difficult to live on. uh, yeah, pretty much. But just map out the face and the structure of the body instead of getting the details out already. 1 second. Hey, Walkerns. And Cyber and Tails. No, actually, these are the Silver the Hedgehogs. Well, alternate silvers of the other. Well, I did go through a huge spiel not long ago, so you might have missed it. But yeah, long story short, yeah, these are the alternate shadows of. Yeah, they're the rivals of other Sonic friends, pretty much. But yeah, I'm now doing the Silver the Hedgehogs of each of those universes. Right. Yeah, oops, all silvers. Yep. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, Walkerns and Sideburns Gal. Sideburn Gal. Yeah, enjoy. Something I probably should have prepared beforehand is like getting an idea of roughly what sort of personality I want them to have, because yeah, because as I designed them, I don't really want to have overlapping personalities between them. So I'm just gonna have a a quick thought about how I want them to be, because I want them to be different enough from these two. So you got a stoic guy and a spirited girl. Yeah, these two are probably closest in personality to Shadow and Sonic. So I might just draw some make him somewhat a bit more derivative of Silver himself. Hmm. Might go up high. Uh, yeah, I'll go low. He is a little bit actually. In my Expanse stuff, he's a little bit racist. In particular to Zeddy. Right, so I might give him some sort of Wanderer cloak because he is basically going to be going through like a desert of sorts. Something that I will try to maintain between them is like having. So with I'll pull them up with accomplishes design. Something I do try to maintain some silverisms. So got like a pale scheme of the fur and a crest, and also maintaining the idea of the apparel with ESP lines going through them. So I'd like to try to maintain that a little bit. Um, a lot of these silvers that Soul's making so far, they do have the ESP lines, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a recurring thing or not. But it'll be a recurring thing with my set. Just to tie them in with silver a little bit more. Oh, you mean like the actual not the alien source, but the the species source. Yeah, yeah, he's probably just racist. Travel. Oh, right, so got to do something with the tail in particular. So, something I neglected to mention, with the architect, or not the architects, with all the project shadows, just like Shadow, um, rivals Sonic in with his main trait, which is speed. A lot of these characters will also try to maintain their similar sort of ability to the ones they're working with, or opposing rather. So, Not is obviously going to have something going on with his tail, much like Lima, much like Tangle, and then like Sugar will have the ear stuff. Probably going to do like a boomerang thing with stones. Echo will have a wisp-on type thing. Arson will use fire, obviously, and Mycella would be, I don't know, I guess sneaky or something. I haven't thought that far ahead, but um, why did I bring them? Oh yeah. So it won't be as prominent to do with the silvers because they are obviously very different to the other two. But I'll still highlight it as a detail in the design a little bit. uh, I have thought about the Biolizard in Prog's timeline in particular, but I haven't delved as deeply into the other ones yet. Well, of mine, but I have planned out more or less that the Biolizard will, so like chaos control is something that's shared between Shadow and the Biolizard. So for Prog's version of the Biolizard, it'll have some hyper go on type stuff going on, and that'll be a recurring theme and difference between all of the other Project Shadows. Yeah, I do have a pretty intricate origin for the Biolizard itself, but yeah, you don't have to rely on that for your stuff. It'll be something I maintain with my universes because it's very closely connected to the source. But yeah, I'll fill you in on that later. I probably won't talk about it now because it's a little bit undefined and probably needs some visuals for the idea to make a bit more sense. But yeah, I do have stuff planned out for what the origin of the Biolizard is. Yeah, that's okay. Hmm. Oh, made her a bit wide in my art. Dark Gaia. Dark Gaia is the one that's destroyed his future. Let me just double check that actually, because not. Yeah, Durga. Durga's the one who destroys his future. And yeah, corroding plates is their world's um, strife. He should have. What a loser. I actually did a long time ago. It's not something it's something I sort of abandoned after a while, but I did have a thing where he kind of merged the idea of merged the bio lizard and Maria, and she was able to constantly be reborn via the eggs. But I didn't have any more use for that universe, so I didn't do anything with it. No. Ark's a different one. It's a different thing entirely. This was more of a grim dark universe. So basically, the bio lizard and Maria were one and the same, but the Maria that you physically see is a creature that's like birthed from the eggs, and every time she died, like a new egg would give birth to a new Maria. So yeah, it was like a yeah, kind of. It was a cool idea, but I didn't really have, you know, I didn't really want to work with that one too much. Yeah, just Gerald things. Yeah, it's a little bit cursed. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just sort of making it up as I go. It's usually when I design, I like to at least have a bit of an image in my head, but I'm just drawing whatever and seeing what sticks. That's a good assessment. do something like that. Make for an interesting contrast with. Actually, I'll just quickly. I think that sort of thing might work with the Micella Rouge future. Yeah, I might go. I might leave the sort of nature thing to them. Yeah, I'll try to go for more of like a geo sort of desert wanderer kind of thing with this guy. Oops. Whoops, 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 whoops. By the way. Hmm. Actually like how this is turning out. Oh, that's what I want to do. So I got. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Let's try experimenting with colors now. So you got. If I go orange, pale. Mhm. Haven't missed much. Just been working silently on this. It's, yeah, going pretty well so far. Mm. So that means opposite of. Yeah, probably. I did catch up with the Nier Automata anime season 2 the other day, so maybe it's fresh in my mind. They're yeah, moving into the Pascal Village stuff, so seeing a lot of scrap robots. Thank you. Thinking though, I might. Hmm. 1 second. Keep it pale. Yeah, I'll keep it pale. Might give him a bit unconventional, but excuse me. That in the head. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I might do that. Actually, what I'll do is when I'm in doubt, I'll play around with the hues. That was pretty cool. That also looks pretty cool. I'm leaning between that and uh, that. I'll go with the browns. That's cool. Okay, this is a bit unconventional, but I'm going to merge layers and just continue on drawing like this. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Pretty fun idea. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Tangle appears. But yeah, that might be pretty fun actually because something I wanted to do is well emphasize with Ravel is that he does not really have prominent tail abilities like these two do because that's their thing. Just like the way that a Silver doesn't have speed, much like Sonic and Shadow. So yeah, I might do a thing where maybe he just doesn't have a tail, but he has like the impression of one. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, whoops. I forget I'm on different layer. Telekinesis. Yeah, probably. I did envision that they'd all have like some variation of psychokinesis. So whether it's different what am I doing? Different like elemental affinities. So yeah, he'll probably I'll probably lean into that sort of thing, but not directly. It's more what I want to focus on is them not necessarily having the same sort of abilities as the ones that they're trying to oppose, but more their abilities are configured in a way where they are specifically built to be able to handle it. So, like Silver's telekinesis, a lot of that's to do with, you know, being able to hurl stuff at Iblis, and I imagine there'll be a lot of scenarios where he has to like lift debris for survivors and stuff like that. So yeah, when I imagine these silvers in their particular worlds, they have their abilities that would help them adapt and survive. He ate the sand. Yeah, yeah, that's probably canon. So yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I don't like. I could go with the idea that maybe he just doesn't have a tail. Maybe he lost it, and he's got this ponytail thing. It's like you know, just as a bit of a memory. Out of the way, not. sorry that happened to you. Yeah, I'm actually rather happy with how he's turning out, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised actually because, like I said, usually when I design, I like to have some sort of plan, at least have some sort of idea what I'm actually doing. But went in completely blind with this one, so yeah, I'm glad you saw this because this is not my usual designing process. I'll just focus on cleaning up the design because I think it's pretty much set now because I like how he's looking. Um, I'll keep going for the next 15 minutes because I'll finish up in, well, it's going to be 1 p.m. my time, so I'll finish up in 15, but I'll just work on this until then. Um, yeah, no, I had intended to stay stream a bit longer today. I did say that last time, but unfortunately I stayed up late last night, so yeah, I'm feeling a bit sheepish, but I'm happy with how this stream went. Next stream, I'll finish off the last two on the 60 years ago cast. So I'll finish up Solaris and Illumina. After that, this set's completed. So in the future after that, I'll get started on, well, I'll have to do some planning first, but I'll start planning out which side characters I want to do. So like the conductor and Abe Tower, stuff like that. So other characters who would make an appearance somehow. So I'll do that at a later stage. I'll do another set of the 60 years ago cast, but with the side characters. Next stream after this one, I'll probably do more silvers like this later on. Probably more as an extension of whatever else I'm doing. So something to unwind and keep myself focused on something else. But I think tomorrow, I'm gonna try doing a really late one. So I'm most of you will probably be unconscious at that point and be like middle of the night stuff. But I'm gonna be working on some stuff for a comic project that I've joined. So not any of my story stuff, but like for a community group project that I've been invited to. So I'm going to be coloring a page. It's called Blue Streak. There was a notice about it on Twitter. I retweeted the note about that. So I'm going to be coloring one of the pages on stream and just see how I go working with a comic page. It's been a while since I've done anything comic related, so it'll be interesting. I've got to do some flats off screen because yeah, I'd like to have at least something substantial done before I actually start the stream. So most of the stream will just be coloring. So I'll do that tomorrow. Um, Likely very late. I don't expect anyone to show up, but it's more I just want to stream it so that I have a record and it'll keep me focused. And then after that, the following day on my day off, depending on if I've managed to finish that page, then I'll probably do more silver stuff or some other project things I want to do. So stay tuned. Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to start. Well, I'm still experimenting with different time zones, so I've been streaming at roughly the same time, but I have been like the past two streams. I've been getting gradually later and later, just to sort of get a feel for how it feels for me, how it feels for everyone else. But yeah, I'm gonna try out some other time zones as well, see if how it feels for me, because ultimately I just want to use this as a tool, to keep up my productivity. And yeah, since I work every other day of the week, so I'm streaming right now on one of my days off. But on the other days when I'm working, I usually don't really do much else after when I finish work. So if I start doing this, like after work hours, then it will elevate my productivity, yeah, by double pretty much. I'm thinking of in the future, like, I mean, obviously I'll still advertise and everything like that, but I don't really want to focus too much on like, obviously I like showing off a bit, but it's not my priority. Um, so sometimes I might just put on a stream without even notifying or anything, just having it up just for my own sense of focus, I guess. Yeah, yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I really appreciate everyone popping along just to watch me. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for another 12 minutes just so I can catch the 3 hour mark. But yeah, no, thank you all for popping in. I hope you all had fun. Now that I think about it, um, Smoky with no more, but this is actually reminding me a lot of Nero, my Equus Factor protagonist. I did show it on. I did show it off a little bit yesterday, but I'll pull it up again by my original story stuff. Equus Factor. Is the right one? Yeah, here we are. Yeah, so sort of accidentally got a similar feel to my protagonist, Nero. I don't know, maybe it's just an aesthetic I really like. Might talk more about the Equus Factor at a later point in time. It's it's an original story that I made, so it's not nothing related to Sonic or anything like that, or even vaguely like in similar tone to Sonic. So there's no cartoon animals or anything like that. It's just a anime, very anime-esque thing. But yeah, it's like a project I sort of keep tucked away and just work on whenever I sort of get the urge to do it. It's a story I've had since like 2011. So yeah, but for the longest time, I only had it as like a pretty much a text document, just listing everything. But it was only up until maybe about 2 years ago when I actually finally designed everybody, and yeah, it's sort of developed more life since then. Yeah, yeah. Well, that I did mention a little bit more about a little bit about that project as well when I was talking about Equus Factor. Um, I'll have a stream dedicated to Moonbeast and Sunchild at some point because that will in the future once I've sort of got more of a regular routine going. That that particular project will encompass one of my streaming days. Um, so yeah, I'll talk more about that at some point because yeah, and one of the other projects encompassing one of my streaming days is a Pokemon related project. 7 minutes, so I want to try something real quick. Overlay. I have no idea what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, it's very fun. It's, I'm still very excited to see the rest of your silvers. So yeah, be very excited to see them all together, just like the others. I haven't saved them, so I'll just have to get them real quick off Discord. Here we are. You haven't colored binary yet, have you? Oh. Yeah. Just nabbing the references because I do not save them. I just keep them on Discord. Where is it? Here we are. Incidentally, you should come up with a group name for your guys. Because I always call them these guys, the original guys or whatever. So they should get a cool group name. These are all the updated versions of the original Project Shadows. So Gemini, Engine, Sombra. Well, Sombra's been updated since. But Rasta, Cheval, and Apathy. Right, and I'll show you the other things real quick. So you got, this is Render. He is the silver from Rasta's future, the Vector Hero timeline, and Binary, who I think is still getting a new name, who is a silver of Gemini's world, so the Tails hero world. Anyways, I think I'm going to end it there now. Thanks everyone for stopping in. I'll keep you updated on what I'm going to be doing next in the coming days, and I'll stream potentially tomorrow late. So say this 1, 2, 3. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours from now, but tomorrow, and then I'll stream again around this time the following day on my day off. Anyways, thanks guys. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.